What's going on, guys? It's CCA, and today we're going to be ranting a little bit about Rainbow Six Siege. If you don't want to hear the rant, I'll try to put a timestamp as to when the gameplay kind of starts. I'm going to be kind of soft speaking for this in case you're not here for the ASMR stuff, and you're just here for the whole rant about the Siege update that is going to be coming out, Operation New Blood. There was a reveal trailer only a few days ago from Ubisoft about all the new stuff coming and the new operators. We'll get into that very soon, but let's hear what you guys think. If you have seen everything about this upcoming season, I want to hear what you guys think about it in the comments. If you have no idea what it's about, we're going to get into it right now. So here it is, Operation New Blood. They've just released this, all of the stuff on the website as well as a reveal trailer on YouTube. You can go ahead and watch that on your own time after this if you'd like. But basically, we've come accustomed now to the point where we would receive a new operator and potentially a new map slash rework of a map that already exists in the game. It used to be back in the day, you'd get 2 new operators and a new map every single season. Those were the glory days of Siege, man. But this season, it's kind of feeling like, I don't know if you remember this season, but it's kind of feeling like an Operation Health kind of season, bro, because they've come in with Striker and Sentry, I believe, which are basically the new kind of revamps of Recruits. So we can kind of take a look at the attacker version of Recruit and the defender version of Recruits. Like I said, Striker and Sentry have got access to some pretty solid weapons, honestly. The M4 being the notable one on the attacker, as well as the M249, but I think that main is definitely going to be the M4. It's a really solid gun. As well as having access to a secondary shotgun is always nice to have. And on Sentry, you've got the M870, a very solid fan favorite, and the Commando 9, which is another solid decent gun, as and another operator with a secondary shotgun, Super Shorty, one of the better ones as well, and the C75 auto. So both having access to some solid weapons, but as you can see, both of them only have access to the secondary gadgets. And the way they were selling this is you were able to have some really solid gadget combinations with these operators. For example, one that they presented in the trailer itself was hard breach charges and impact EMPs. They actually don't have it here, but I'm pretty sure you will have access to those impact EMPs. And it's cool. But this was already the case with Recruit. You already had access to the secondary gadgets, 2 different secondary gadgets, and a weapon that you weren't really totally able to customize it, but there were different weapons, and you had access to a way more weapons is the thing, right? So I think the main thing was just the fact that they've unlocked access to every single gadget on the board. They've unlocked access to every single gadget, so you can have any combination of any secondary gadget. I think that's the one thing that they've been trying to sell. Excuse me. So, for example, you could have a nitro cell and impacts on defense, or a nitro cell and a bulletproof, or a deployable shield and barbed wire. You can literally have any combination of any secondary gadgets. So that wasn't the case before, but it still was the case that you got access to 2 secondaries. So they have updated the way that Recruits look, but they haven't really updated much. Let's be honest here. We're not getting a new operator this season. We're getting reworked Recruits, which, let's be honest here, it sounds cool and all to have, access to extra secondaries, but at the end of the day, like, high level, I think, ranked players or even Pro League aren't going to be using this. Let's be honest here. They're not going to be using this. It's way more valuable to have access to a specific specialized gadget that a lot of these operators have on defense or attack, and I just don't think it's worth it. I'm obviously going to give it a shot and try it out when this update first drops, but I don't see myself playing being a recruit main, bro. I think I just love too many operators too much. So unless I think the main thing is where it's going to be very effective is on attack. I could see having smokes and stuns being quite useful if you're going for that fast bomb plant, or smokes, claymores, frags, flashes, hard breaches, and impact EMPs. I think would be pretty solid to be a self-sufficient hard breacher. Um, but yeah, man, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what you think about the new operators. I think it's really, really whack. Like, I don't use that word very often, but I think they kind of blew it on this. I can't lie. I like, especially after dropping Deimos last season, which was such a sick operator, bro. That we had Deimos and Lair, which was so cool. Um, but I don't know. They kind of dropped the ball on this one. We can kind of talk about some of the balancing changes that they are talking about doing to Fenrir and Solis. I think they absolutely cooked Solis. I don't know how good, honestly, she's going to be after this balancing change. I agree that she needed a change. I don't know if I agree with how they did it. So if we take a look at here, Solis's Spec IO electro sensor is unavailable during the prep phase. Duration of the sensor has been reduced to 10 seconds. Detection range is now set to 12 meters and must be at full charge to use. So in layman's terms, basically, you can't take out drones in the prep phase anymore. She's pretty much useless for that. You can't do it. As soon as the prep phase is over, you can turn it on. But that was the main reason you used Solis, is to get rid of all the intel as fast as possible in the prep phase. You have to wait till the ability is fully charged to actually use it. Meaning, you can't just kind of pop it on, pop it off, unless it's completely full. You can't pop it on, pop it off to kind of take a look around through the walls to see if there's any enemy gadgets around. You gotta wait till it's fully charged. Plus, they've made the range at which you can see electronics smaller. They've nerfed that as well. They took impact grenades away from her. It's gonna be so much harder to play vert angles with her now, because before, with Solis, you would wait, you'd try to hide late in the round, you'd play either below or above the objective, and when the enemy was planting, you'd look and see where they were planting, throw an impact at the wall or the ceiling, and shoot them through the wall or ceiling. Now you can't do that anymore. You've only got, I think, proximity alarm, and maybe barbed wire. I don't know what her other secondary gadget is, but it's ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous. I think Solis is cooked. I think she's done. Absolutely done for. We'll see how she plays in game once this update is out, but I don't think I'm going to be playing much Solis after this goes live. We can talk about Fenrir. They nerfed him a little bit. I don't think this is as major as Solis, but they made his F0 dread mines to the point where you can only activate 2 of them, and he only has 4 instead of 5 of the dread mines before, and the mines are no longer bulletproof. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know they were bulletproof in the first place. Call me dense, but I did not know they were bulletproof in the first place when they were exposed. But yeah, tickets are recovered when a mine is destroyed or deactivated, which I actually do like. Before, when you had an F0 mine, vulnerable and exposed, and it got shot, you weren't able to, you were kind of just done. That whole activation of another F0 was completely done. So yeah, that's done. I think this is okay though. I kind of like this balancing change for Fenrir. I thought he was a little too broken. I thought he was a little too OP. He was getting picked pretty much every single ranked game, every single pro league game. So I think that was definitely in order. Also, he doesn't have access to barbed wire anymore, which is important because they've also changed barbed wire to deal 5 damage every second while moving through it. So barbed wire is going to be way more effective, and I think you're going to start seeing people pick barbed wire a lot more. That's really a really huge change, I think, to barbed wire. I think that's going to get picked a lot more, and it's going to have some really interesting combinations with some operators, I think. Another thing that they're doing, which I just don't get it, bro. It seems like a lot of games are going this way, but they now have a Rainbow Six Siege membership thing. If we take a look, we can just kind of read out what they've put on their website. Enjoy access to a voucher that can be redeemed for any operator and over 100 rewards from the Premium Battle Pass, along with 10 level skips each month for quicker progression. Legendary member exclusive gear awaits you every month and are only available for a limited time. We're showing our appreciation to early adopters with extra bonus rewards. Become a member before June 19th to get an additional Ash Epic bundle and 600 R6 credits. Active R6 membership owners receive Premium Battle Pass access during each Rainbow Six season, one exclusive legendary item, blah 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 blah. So it's basically just a whole cosmetic membership, as well as getting some other R6 credits and stuff. If you're a Fortnite kid, it's very similar to, I think it's called Fortnite Crew, where every season that comes out, you can kind of subscribe to it. You get some battle pass levels, you get the battle pass itself, and some extra cosmetics. Why? Is my question. Why introduce this? Honestly, I think after what they've implemented into this season, which is barely any content, let's be honest, the recruits are barely anything. They've done a couple balancing changes, but that's really it. I think this was so bad of them. I can't believe they had the audacity to release this, another microtransaction thing in their game, to release this and barely provide any content towards the actual game. I'm dumbfounded, honestly. It's crazy how Ubisoft tries to kill their game over and over and over with a lot of these updates that they introduce, and a lot of things that they just refuse to fix that a lot of the community has been asking for a long time. So I'm honestly dumbfounded that they thought this was going to be a good idea to release it in this season. But we'll move on. I believe there is a couple other things I want to talk about. The marketplace thing actually kind of looks cool. This is very similar to what I think the CSGO skin marketplace is going to look like, where if you have any extra skins, you can sell it on the marketplace for a certain amount of renown. And yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's very cool to allow other people to just trade their skins and customization stuff. I think that's pretty cool. They also have some other playlists, which I'm not really going to go over because it doesn't really matter. The big thing here is the Stadium Alpha and Stadium Bravo updates. Now, I actually kind of liked this. The huge complaint with Stadium Bravo was the massive amounts of bulletproof glass all around the map, so that you can just see straight through objectives, and attackers would be able to get intel on you pretty much anywhere you were in the building. They've completely removed a lot of it, which I like. They've also done some other changes around the map to kind of just some like tweaks here and there with some doorways, some hatches and stuff. I like this change. I like the rework. I still don't know if I'm going to like the map, though. I think Stadium Bravo is just a weird map in general. It's just a culmination of like a bunch of different maps together. So yeah, I'm kind of iffy on this one. They're not putting it into ranked right away, which I also enjoy, thank God, because I don't really like this map. There's a couple other things like the spectating updates, player comfort stuff I really just don't care about, honestly. Like also the versus AI stuff they've upgraded on, but yeah, man, those are the main things I wanted to talk about. We can also talk about some tweaks and improvements here. Honestly, I haven't really looked into much of this stuff, but if you want on your own time, go ahead and pause the video. You can take a look at some of this stuff. Not a lot of, like, again, a lot of these stuff are just little tweaks and improvements. You're probably not going to really notice too much, but yeah, man, very odd update. I cannot lie. I'm very like I was so excited to see how they were gonna follow up a absolutely amazing season with the whole with Deimos and Lair being updated into the game. Deimos is so sick. He's usable and ranked. He looks cool. You feel like a badass using him. Lair, now that I'm starting to learn it, I don't mind the map. It's okay. It's still I don't really play it often ranked because it gets banned quite often, but that's usually the case for newer maps. Um, I don't know, man. You guys let me know in the comments how you feel about this new season coming out. I'm not a fan of it. I think this is a huge fumble from Ubisoft here. It's literally just reworked recruits, and it's not. It's really what they've done to the recruits is they've given you the option to have any single combination of secondary gadgets along with some other weapons on the recruits, but they've made it so you have less options in terms of weapons to use, which is very odd. And if they have made them a little more usable and ranked, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to use them. So I don't know, man. It's very odd, very weird update. Not a fan of it. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think Ubisoft cooked very well on this, but enough of the rant. Let's maybe play a little bit of deathmatch. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more and actually try to relax after that little bit of a rant. Okay, guys. So I think, like I said, I think the main reason I'm so upset about this is because we had such an insane season that came out not long ago with Deimos. Such a cool. Oh, that guy's just. Oh, my batteries are low. I don't have controller vibration. I hate that. Yeah, we had such an insane update. Jesus, such an insane update with Deimos and Lair, literally a couple months ago, and now it just seems like we're getting a whole lot of nothing in this, which I hate. Like I remember back in the day when Siege released Operation Health, saying we need to release a season where we just take a look at the game and try to improve it because there's a lot of bugs. And to be fair, there was exactly that. There was a lot of bugs. It was very buggy. There was a lot of things that needed changing back in the day. And honestly, at first it wasn't very well received by the community, but they kind of learned to live with it, right? Because they realized, listen, we just need a season to fix stuff and try to get Siege back to where it was before and just be a good game again, right? I think if they had come out and said that with this season, we're looking at it from a completely new perspective, right? Because sure, there isn't any new operators or really a new map, but at the end of the day, I think there are some things that the game needs to take a serious look at. There are still some crazy bugs in the game. For example, I don't know if they've patched this yet. They might have, but there's this really bad glitch that if you team kill at the start of a round, and if you team kill at the start of a round and immediately leave, anyone who's still in the game after the round is over, their game crashes. Like, my question is, how do people find these glitches? But there's still some game breaking stuff like that. I think coming this update, they're updating the anti-cheat of the game, which I really like. I think in order to have a game survive, you need a good anti-cheat. So I like that, but I don't know, man. It's just the lack of content that they're putting in, and they're trying to disguise it as if they're reworking the recruits. Very strange, man. Very strange decision. Seriously. I really want to know if a lot of you guys feel the same about it, because I don't know. I've seen some very mixed opinions about this upcoming season online all over the place. I think the general consensus is that this is a pretty crappy update coming out. Oh god, that guy scared me. I think the general consensus is that this is a pretty crappy update. A lot of people can kind of see through this crap from Ubisoft here. Oops. And yeah, man, I don't know. I just want, I miss the days where, and I kind of get it from Ubisoft's point of view, but I miss the days where we'd get two new operators and a new map every season. I miss those days, bro, because it would shake the game up. We'd have a new map, it would introduce a level of, not a level, it would just introduce constant new content, keep the players engaged. But oh, there goes my controller. Let me change the batteries quickly. There we go. So yeah, I miss those days, but I understand it would shake up. I think releasing two operators at the same time sometimes had the risk of shaking up the meta way a little too much. Like I remember when Lion and Finka came out, that was absolute insanity. Lion was way too broken. Finka wasn't really that broken, but yeah, I think they were worried about shaking up the meta a little bit too much by introducing two operators at once. But at the same time, I think that's what keeps this game fresh and exciting, bro. Shaking up the meta, having to constantly come up with new strategies to win. That's what makes this game so amazing. Is the fact that there's so many different strategies and so many different ways of playing the game. It was at this point my recording started to lag a little bit, but basically what I was getting at is that's why I love this game. There's so many different ways of playing the game, so many different operators, so many different maps. There's a different strategy for each map, both on attack and defense. It's just knowledge. Call me Ty Lopez, but you need knowledge to play Siege. A lot of shooters, if you can kind of just hop in, you can play, you can get away with your aim and not really just think. You just turn your brain off and just aim around. Siege is so much more than just a shooter. You gotta really think. You gotta plan out every single defense and every single attack, and that's what makes this game great, man. So that's why whenever Ubisoft comes out with a season like this or an update like this, where they don't really introduce new content or whatever, that it's just gonna be another 3 months of what was going on the last season. So for half of this year, for Siege, half of this year, 6 months, it's going to be basically the same update, pretty much, aside from the nerfs and buffs that they did to some of the gadgets and the operators. So I think that's where I'm gonna end it, though. Like I said earlier, let me know what you guys think of this whole update. Do you like it? Do you hate it like me? What do you think of the new recruits? Do you think they're gonna be good? Do you think they're gonna be garbage and probably pretty useless? Let me know below, guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the whole little overview of the whole season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Regular stuff coming out tomorrow. And peace.